welcome back to Birth, and today your host, I am Esther, and with me we have...
Crystal.
Hi Crystal, can you tell us about yourself a little?
So Crystal is a wife and a mother. She's a digitech strategist, meaning digital and technology, smart technology strategist. So, apart from that, actually, I am a fantastic, I call myself a special squad of the Lord.
Wow.
So the underlying meaning is that my genotype is SS.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So when you have SS genotype and you are in Nigeria, at this age, I would say I'm over above 45. So above 45 in Nigeria, you know that you've been through hell and high water. So not just in the Christian part, not just in the physical, spiritual, emotional, in every area, you've been through a whole lot. Yeah. So that's why I call myself a victorious special squad of the Lord.
So how many children do you have?
Okay, I have two beautiful girls, two beautiful nations. I call them nations. Each of them is a one-man nation, as in they are mighty nations.
So can you tell us a bit about your pregnancy experiences with each of them?
Okay, by virtue of the genotype thing. So I had you're always, I don't know, it's imprinted in you. Growing up, it's imprinted in you that you are you're not expected to live long. They don't expect that you get married. They don't expect that you have children. They don't expect a whole lot. So a whole lot of times, your life plays out by that. You are just counting the years. Oh, I crossed 20. Oh, I crossed 25. Amazing. Oh, I crossed 30. Amazing. Oh, I crossed. So, and also you don't have that preparation of that. Oh, I'm going to have a child. I'm going to, you get. For me, it was a fear thing. I was scared. I was actually very scared. The pregnancy journey. I was very, very scared. Me getting born again was a battle, and it was an overcoming battle for me. And me getting married was another overcoming battle. Talk less of now thinking of the pregnancy journey. So the pregnancy journey, when me and my husband got married, we were like, okay, we're going to wait for 1 year so that I could have, both of us could have time with each other, you know. We still wanted the honeymoon phase. We still wanted to enjoy ourselves. But lo and behold, anyways, we tried for 6 months. My first daughter gave us 6 months to enjoy ourselves. But then, as we crossed 6 months, she decided to come. So how did I discover that I was pregnant? I think I just didn't see my period. I think I really just didn't see my period. And it didn't seem as if I wasn't ill. Nothing happened. I wasn't feeling irritated. So I just didn't see my period. And then we decided to go check. And they said, congratulations. Your first baby is on her way. So that was the conception. So the journey for the first child for my baby was amazing. It was really, really amazing, because I would state that it was my healthiest ever. I didn't break down that I was ill. I used to have bad crises. I used to have bad crises like every 2 months or every 3 months, you know. But during pregnancy, surprisingly, I was very strong. I was extremely strong. It was shocking. And being strong also, I was also more, I took my Christian walk life very serious at that time. I was more spiritual. I was highly as is spiritual and everything, knowing God more. I was praying more. And of course, I mean, the supernatural childbirth. So, yeah, supernatural childbirth for me. Oh, I was expecting the supernatural childbirth. I think during my time, CS was not very, it wasn't of a choice. During my time, the women were, yeah, as in, you're very strong, you know. And then I had people who had preceded me who, I have some friends who, one of them is, she's of SS genotype 2. She had had the first. And during her first, I was there. Then I was in university when she had her first. So I saw her go through that, and she went through natural childbirth. As if she went through natural childbirth, and she was strong through it. It was and I was like, okay, what is that? Let's do this. I can't do this. Supernatural childbirth is meant for me. I'm doing this. So, and also, part of the miracle I knew I had was that I didn't show early. I was working at that period, and at every point in time when I was working, the Lord was always making things work out for me. He was making things work out for me and my husband. And for that first, I don't think I was well informed. I was only well informed in the supernatural way, the supernatural childbirth, you know. I wasn't really prepared when it comes to well informed when it comes to the CS part, because at that time the CS was not Christianity. It wasn't part of Christianity. The CS was like, you are not believing God. You are not standing in faith. You must stand in faith. You have to stand in faith. God does those miracles, you know. My due date was still like 3-4 weeks away. So she came early. I was exactly 36 weeks. And then I just woke up with bash, water broke. That was as at 4 a.m. my water broke. So I was in shock. Like, it's 36 weeks now. My due date is not, what happened, you know? And it got so good. Got so good. My mom was with me at that time. So my mom was with me and she was like, your water broke. Okay. The baby is coming here at 4 a.m. My water broke. I was still enjoying myself, enjoying my life. There was one pregnant woman beside me. She was already going through contractions. So, you know, as at the morning time, like maybe 8-9 a.m., her contractions had heightened, and she was screaming and shouting, and she was crying. And see me, I was feeling fly that, what? I'm not having, what? I got this now. Maybe they say it's painful, but this thing is not painful. Well, where's the pain? What's that? It's not painful now. My water has broken now. I'm okay. I'm smiling. I'm gisting. I was still gisting with friends. I was happy. I was like, my water has broken away. You know, and I still saw this woman and they were checking her, you know, but I didn't pay attention to the checking. I wasn't paying attention to the checking. The doctor came, they checked the baby, the heartbeat and everything. The doctor now said he had to do a check at that 2 p.m. They had to do a check to find out what's happening. That I should have dilated by now, and my contractions should have gotten heightened, but I was still smiling and gisting and laughing, and you know, so they are wondering what's happening. So they did the coded and famous check, and I was screaming, and I was like, as if I was the doctor. I was like, just get your hands off me. Like, I was screaming. I was screaming because it was painful. And I was like, when is he going to remove the hand from me? As in like, and he had to check. So when they did that, that was the first batch of pain that I realized that, okay, now this is a reality. This is happening. This is reality check. It's not this is not your normal joy ride and laughter and everything. Auntie, this is serious business. You're in serious business. So as he checked, at first he didn't say what had happened, but he said, okay, that I'm not ready yet, but that they would wait a while. So they waited another 2 hours, 4 p.m. And this was already 12 hours. So they were like, this is someone who had just been, she was ill. She had just come out of a crisis. And then now her water has broken. So we don't want her to go into distress. Right. So we have to be careful, we have to be cautious. And then they did something that I'm very sure medically they were not supposed to do in that kind of situation. They induced me. And the inducing me, they inserted a tablet in me to help to quicken the contractions. And it quickened the contractions truthfully with pain. And I was screaming and shouting, as in I was rolling, I was screaming, I was shouting. I could not even hold it if it was 5 minutes, if it was 2 minutes, if it was 3 minutes. I did not know what was happening. I was just in pain. As in my tummy was on fire. So I was in pain. And I was definitely entering a distress now. And then they do another check again. And this time around is when they now say, my baby had not turned. Her head was here. So she was not in the position for me to have her naturally. And then my cervix did not open. So all of this time, they were supposed to have known this when they had done the check, that my baby had not turned, because they would have felt that it was her leg they were hitting. And they should have known that my cervix was not ready, because I wasn't ready. I don't know why my water broke early, but it did. So they had to wheel me into an emergency CS, where I was screaming in pain. I mean, my mom was scared. My husband was like trying to control everyone. He was trying to hold himself. Everybody, I was just out of it. I don't even know if I was praying. I don't know if I was calling God. I do not know. Honestly, at that point, I am not sure. I do not know if I was a believer at that time, because I was just not into it at all. It was a lot going on. All I knew was that I just wanted the pain to stop. That was all that was in my head. Let this pain stop. Why am I in constant pain? What did you guys do to me? Why is it that? Why? As they wheeled me into the emergency, they did anesthesia, and I slept off. So it was a CS with anesthesia that they did, that I slept off. On waking up, in fact, that waking up journey, it was as if I was looking for the door to come back to life, that kind of thing. But waking up and then having to try to feed my daughter, it now showed the person that did not go for antenatal classes. I didn't go for antenatal classes.
Why?
I just felt that my kind of person is this.
You said it's online or what?
it now. Don't worry, I will know it when I get there. It's not good living life like that. When I get there, I will know it. When I get to that road, I mean, I'll cross it. What's that? How will we learn it? We cross it. And, you know, I think I had milk, yes. She was breastfed, she was being breastfed, but I didn't know which way, what to do, and how to hold her, and where to hold her. And then my nipples started getting sore. So I started having sores, as in the nipple was sore. It was an injury. It was painful, and it was terribly painful. And they told me that I couldn't stop breastfeeding. Why? Because it was her mouth that was going to heal the wound. My God. Oh my God. Another batch of pain. Another batch of pain. That period was as in when they say my daughter has woken up and she wants to breastfeed.
Oh no.
My heart is going my heart is going pain. And so but before the breastfeeding, let me say that God was actually with me on the journey. God was with me during the pregnancy, before, during, and after. Now, during when I was on admission, or right after the CS, someone who her veins are very difficult to get, so they found it tough to actually get my veins. Right before, God was able to help them get my veins. Even though I went through some pains of them getting my veins, but it was easier than right after. So I went through another batch of, that was a huge batch of painful experience trying to get my veins, so they could administer blood as well as the IV fluids to me. But all through that phase, God did it that I healed fast. I healed very well. And I got out of the hospital at least considerably quite fast. For my genotype kind of thing, I got out of the hospital quite fast. I healed fast. I got out of the hospital. And the funniest thing was, I was called then. I was still told then that they would ask, so was it natural or was it CS? And I'll tell them, oh, it's CS. And they will say, you're just a lazy woman. Really? I'm a lazy woman. No, it's not your fault.
People die in CS, for God's sake.
People die in CS. People are in coma in the CS. And I did not enter a coma. I came out from the coma. I'm with my family. I came out like after a bit of like minutes after the CS, and I'm strong and I'm healthy and I'm there and I'm fine. But the truth is, I would say the journey, my first daughter, her journey was beautiful. It was an experience. It was telling me that, it was actually a journey of telling me that I needed to trust God. I needed to know God as well as trust God, and also stay well informed, more informed, not just the biblical information, but the human information also, the mental information, the emotional information, the knowledge information, know things that are going to happen, know things that are happening. So I already knew that, of course, I was going to give myself time to heal and for me to be ready. When I was ready was when we were going to have the second baby.
So you actually planned on having another child?
Oh, yes.
Or it took you by surprise?
No way.